Hello, creeps, and welcome to JJ's Horrors Fiction. Let's begin our story. Who the fuck is Carl Williams? Despite every word I read yesterday, every twisted word, the thing that still bothers me the most is Cara fucking Williams. Who was she, and what does my dad have to do with her? My online sleuthing discovered she was a college student at a local university who had gone out to the bars one night and never returned home. That's about it. This was the time before social media, so there wasn't anything to find there. And other than those news stories, there was no trace of her before. But why her? I hardly got any sleep that night, and avoided my dad like the plague when he got home. My mom scalded me for never bringing her what she needed. It was a folder. But otherwise, nothing changed. Although, I did start to notice things about my dad. He nods a lot to the TV. Almost like everything on it is somehow meant for him. He's always very precise. Deliberate would be a good explanation. He never wastes a word. It seems like everything he does has a specific purpose. It's those things you never notice over the years. And then once you see it, that's all you can see. None of that mattered though. All that mattered was getting back to the diary. I needed to know more. I waited in my room until every car had left for the day. Stayed home from school and said I was having a migraine. It wasn't too far from the truth. The minute I heard the garage shut, I was out of my bed and into my parents' room. I tore open the drawer and grabbed the diary from its hidden place. I had to know more. I flipped past what I've read and found the diary begin to become more chronological. Most entries were dated and came after the original story. There were some more mentions of how he had done it, but otherwise, most of the information was useless. Unlike the first entries, that is until I came upon one worth nothing. This one was dated 3/3/2001. It happened again. I hadn't even planned it, but it fell right into my lap. What kind of man would I be to pass it up? I saw her trying to walk home. I wouldn't even need anything extra. Walk was a generous term for what she was attempting. She fell from her car to fence as she gingerly made her way down the sidewalk. I pulled alongside her. White knight, a few words, a flash of a smile, and a promise of safe travel were all that was needed. Immediately following was an entry date, 3/4/2001. That was a mess. Alcohol on its own does not work as effectively. I wrote that one down. She came through midway and made a mess of the whole affair. All the improvements I made to my room were highlighted last night. Good to know. Soundproofing works when I had cleaned up and went upstairs. No one had been disturbed. I finished early and was back in bed before she even woke up. Didn't even need to use an excuse. I'd come up with it. The second time was even easier. The last line chilled into my bones. I'd even went to search the date online. I knew what I would find, but I still had to do it. Of course, there was another Susan Danvers, went missing after going out to the bars on 3/3/2001. Had not been heard from since. I had wanted Cara to be coincidence, but my dad just happened to write some weird story that day. Susan made that hope unlikely, and the language of the entry made me worry more was to come. I took a deep breath and continued through the diary. It was just like the last time. That one coherent entry was followed by more nonsense. The nonsense eventually gave way to another date, and what looked to be the longest entry yet. This one was dated 2/21/2003. It had a title too, Sweets. I believe I have found my calling. This one was strange, surreal, almost for others I honestly just went blank. I knew what I had done and how I had done it, but everything in between was just gone. This one, I remember this one. I'll save her, and I think I picked her up again. That part is fuzzy. It was another bar or something, and this time I knew alcohol wasn't enough. Then we were in the basement, the drive. This part is scratched over and illegible. She was prettier than the others. She never even came to. She just slept blissfully, unaware, until she wasn't weird. How that works, I couldn't wait to show off my work. I knew he'd be happy with this one. It was the cleanest yet. I was showing improvement. I knew he'd say that. The waiting is the worst part. His schedule is so unclear. But I know I have to be patient. I've gotten this far. I cannot stop now. Shit, I'm glad I hung that clock up down here. With the new improvements, there's no way to tell what time it is. Outside, they'll be up soon. I should get upstairs. Can't let on anything is other than perfect. Not until I'm ready. Not until we're ready. Then they all know. The first thing I did after reading was search the date. There it was, once again. Regina Harold. She went missing from the same pub as Carl Williams. The other thing that stuck out to me was the mention of the room. His room, he says, my parents have lived in the house since 1994. If he does have a son, room must be in the house. The other things about these girls is they were all huge national cases. They were specifically covered heavily by a local news station, Channel 3, the same station my dad watches every night. What am I even supposed to do in a situation like this? Do I go to the cops? Do I confront my dad? No, that would get too complicated. All I know is I need to find out what's going on in my basement. Ooh, guys, that gave me chills. Hope you guys enjoyed the story.